Okay, now we'll start with the brow. Most Wolfmen have some sort of anger management problem, so we're going to put a big brow on him. Now we're going to put a wolf-like nose on here. Roll a little snake and lay him down like that. Blend him in a little. Very easy, very simple. Now, like on the brow, you might want to draw in the lines and make sure you like kind of the pattern. And then if you do, take your snakes, roll them out. Again, if you can find any pictures of people making expressions, that can be helpful. Push them into the clay. And we'll come back and do a trick later with a sponge that will make these look good. I'm freeforming all these and actually kind of like drawing in clay, just letting them happen. But it might be handy to have a picture or to draw what you want to do first, because when you get used to clay, you can kind of draw in clay and say, I don't like that, and change it. But if you're not used to it, that might be too much work. So that is up to you. We got the teeth started here. I'll just leave it there. One thing to be aware of when you're putting on little details like this is you need to make sure that the latex can flow into these details. I'm going to find my center and then just use the tool to outline the teeth. Just kind of. Okay. Now I'm going to make a big old lip. I want this to have a chin that sticks out below your chin. You're not forced to keep the dimensions of the face mask. It can hang down a little bit, and that's okay. But I want to make a real predominant squared off chin and jawline. Kind of undercut this a little bit so that it makes a cleaner line when you wear it as a mask. Now, in case I forget to mention it, a lot of times you can get a grease paint. You don't have to, but it just makes the mask look better. Put the grease paint on your eyes that's close to the color of the mask, usually black or something, where it's down deep in the eyes, and then you can put it on and it looks better. There's another technique that I use, and that's the little balls I'm putting on right now. Even though the sculpture looks very rough and I'm just adding to the roughness, this adds, like the sponge, helps to add some irregularities in the flesh and give it a fleshiness. These little balls just randomly thrown on help give it a more of a believable fleshiness. Okay, now I'm thinking that we're about ready to go with the water. But this is a really quick way of getting an organic look to the piece. And it's also messy, so hopefully you are in a basement or a garage right now. And if you're not, I would stop and put plastic on the table. because this little brush will flick stuff if you're moving it fast. Again, this step is very helpful, but you can go too far. You can turn the whole sculpture into mud. And also that you've got some amount of control here as to how far you're pushing down. And I'm not really pushing down very hard right now. Okay, I'm going to show you a technique you can use or not use. If you have a spray bottle, it's nice because then it's just a real quick way of clearing the clay, the mud out of the way. And I would put it on the soft setting. Okay, now we're going to sponge. Now this is important right up here at the top because this is where we make those goofy looking wrinkles look more believable. I'm going to push a little bit hard. You're better to start slow and push more and more than start pushing too hard at first. Now down in these areas where it's pretty close to what I want, I'm not going to push too hard. Just where I like those wrinkles, I needed to nuke those a little bit. All right, now that's pretty much all I want to do at this point. I've given it a good pushing around with a sponge, giving it some texture and so forth. And I want to hang on to this, the roughness of the skin and so forth. So at this point, I'm going to stop sculpting on it and let it dry. Now you could either just let it sit, possibly overnight. That might be a little long, but you know, a few hours. You can keep checking how hard it is. The other way is to use a hairdryer, and that speeds it up so that you can get on with it if you want to continue sculpting right away. Getting the right consistency is important in your clay to work it some more. And so I would say that you want to just watch that you should be able to move the clay just a little bit. It won't be so hard that it's immobile. Another thing to watch for is that the clay starts to get white. Like the tips of these teeth would be the first thing to get white because they're so thin. If they start to get white, then you'll know that you're getting close to the point where you know, you're not going to be able to move them around anymore. You could carve them with a knife or something, but they'll get too hard. So you want to watch for that. And it's okay, you can still cast them with them hard. But you should test it and make sure that it's just dry, it's not muddy anymore, so you can still move it a little bit, push it around with your tools, but not rock hard at all by any means. You can get out any extra puddling water, that'll help it move along here. It's drier now, and so I can go in and I can etch some smaller details and sharpen up some of this blurry stuff. The blurry stuff's great because it's organic looking and stuff, but it's blurry. And so we are going to put Wolfie to bed. So here is Mr. Wolfman.